Welcome to the Form Filling USA YouTube channel. If the mere thought of the upcoming 2025 tax season gives you an instant headache, well, you definitely aren't alone. Today, we're diving into a brand new explainer where we'll break down exactly what you need to successfully navigate some pretty unprecedented changes this year. We're pulling straight from the latest IRS documentation, schedules, and technical guides to give you a crystal clear step-by-step roadmap for your 1040. If you want to file efficiently and avoid those dreaded delays, you're in exactly the right place.
So let's kick things off by asking a really simple question. Are you truly prepared for the massive changes coming this filing season? If you're someone who traditionally relies on printing out forms and mailing them in, you might want to seriously rethink that strategy for this year. The whole landscape has shifted dramatically, and getting prepared means understanding the new administrative realities over at the IRS. And here's exactly why that preparation is so critical. The IRS is currently operating with a staggering 27% workforce reduction. They're down to just 74,000 employees total. So what does that actually mean for you? It means that manual paper processing and even just basic over-the-phone customer service are going to be severely delayed. The National Taxpayer Advocate has made it crystal clear, to minimize delays, it's absolutely crucial to submit an error-free, electronically filed return this year. To get you through this safely and quickly, here's our exact agenda for today's explainer. We'll cover 1. The 2025 tax landscape, 2. Free filing and tools, 3. Thresholds and standard deductions, 4. Gathering your tax documents, and finally, 5. Calculating your gross income.
Okay, Section 1. The 2025 tax landscape. Let's jump right into the big news that completely changes the game this year, which is the retroactive legislation signed on July 4th. That legislation is called the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, or the OBBB Act. The OBB Act basically means you and your tax practitioners have to adjust standard calculations on your Form 1040 immediately. Because key provisions of this act apply retroactively to the start of the 2025 tax year, you literally cannot rely on the exact same standard math you used last year. And here's the most drastic shift, especially for middle and high-income earners. The state and local tax, or SALT deduction limit, has completely skyrocketed. It went from $10,000 all the way up to $40,000. Previously capped at $10,000, this overall limit on state and local income, sales, and property taxes is now $40,000 for single, head of household, joint, and surviving spouse filers. Now, for married individuals filing separately, it's $20,000. This regulatory adjustment totally flips the deduction planning landscape on Schedule A, making itemized deductions way more advantageous for a lot of taxpayers. Moving on to Section 2, free filing and tools. Like we talked about, with the IRS incredibly short-staffed, digital filing isn't just a nice convenience anymore, it's a total necessity to beat the backlog. Fortunately, the IRS has rolled out Direct File as a permanent free option for roughly 30 million eligible taxpayers across 25 participating states. You can use this service directly on your mobile phone, a tablet, or a desktop computer. It's designed to be simple, highly secure, and most importantly, always free, allowing you to bypass that expensive commercial software if your specific tax situation is supported. And if you need help, the IRS has really stepped up their accessibility so no one gets left behind in this digital transition. You've got dedicated live chat in English and Spanish right inside the platform. Need an interpreter? They offer over-the-phone services in 7 different languages. They even have ASL video guides and a dedicated accessibility helpline. Or if you require written correspondence in Braille or large print, you can simply file Form 9000. All right, Section 3, Thresholds and Standard Deductions. What's really interesting about this next step is figuring out your exact filing baseline before you even look at a tax form. This table right here breaks down your standard deduction, which is strictly determined by your filing status and your age at the end of the year. As you know, standard deductions are adjusted annually for inflation. For instance, a single filer under 65 gets a basic standard deduction of $15,750. But look at a married couple filing jointly where both are 65 or older. That threshold jumps up to $34,700. Simply put, if your gross income meets or exceeds these statutory thresholds, you are required to file a federal return. So a really crucial point here is that if you were born before January 2nd, 1961, or are legally blind, you get an extra $1,600 or even $2,000 added to your deduction limit. Under federal tax law, you're actually considered to be 65 on the day before your 65th birthday. The additional deduction is $1,600 per qualifying condition, but if you're unmarried and not a qualifying surviving spouse, that bumps up to an extra $2,000 per condition. This represents a major baseline benefit.
Let's move to Section 4, Gathering Your Tax Documents. Before we even think about touching Form 1040, you have to build your foundation.
Skipping this step is honestly the fastest way to make a filing error. Just follow these steps to compile your records. Step 1. Pull all W-2s from your employers and 1099s from your financial institutions. Step 2. If you use the health insurance marketplace, you absolutely need Form 1095A to reconcile your premium tax credit on Form 8962. Finally, Step 3. Retrieve your prior year adjusted gross income, or AGI, by signing into your IRS online account. If you're a first-time filer, you can just enter 0, but you have to have this number to pass the electronic signature validation. Finally, Section 5. Calculating your gross income. This is the main event. Let's see how all your preparation pays off by building your actual 1040 line by line. The top of page 1 is all about identity and unlocking credits. You establish your demographics, list up to 4 dependents to trigger things like the child tax credit, and, this is a big one, you have to answer the mandatory digital asset question. Seriously, you cannot skip declaring if you interacted with crypto this year. It's a hard yes or no. Next, you systematically aggregate every single stream of money you've made. Think of it kind of like a giant funnel. You pour in your W-2 wages, your investment interest, IRA distributions, and capital gains. You also scoop up any supplemental business income from Schedule 1. Consolidate all these streams together through lines 1 to 8, and you arrive at your total income on line 9. From there, remember this absolutely key tip. Subtract your above-the-line adjustments calculated on Schedule 1 to finally arrive at your adjusted gross income. These adjustments are incredibly valuable. We're talking things like educator expenses, student loan interest, HSA deductions, or the deductible portion of self-employment tax. You total these on Schedule 1, Part 2, transfer the number to Form 1040, Line 10, and subtract it from your total income. The result on Line 11B is your AGI. Your AGI is the critical base metric used for calculating almost all of your subsequent tax limitations and phase-outs. Armed with this knowledge and your paperwork, you can navigate this complex 2025 tax season smoothly. By understanding your exact standard deduction and taking full advantage of massive new limits like the OBB Act's SALT deduction, you're perfectly positioned to beat the IRS backlog by filing electronically and keeping more of your hard-earned money. But as the tax code continues to shift rapidly year after year, it really begs the question, what other hidden tax advantages are you currently leaving on the table?